Right now on Hoosier News Source, an executive order signed by President Donald Trump leaves students and community members outraged.
And why cities across the United States are trying to ban the popular hospitality business Airbnb.
These stories and more coming up. Hoosier News Source starts now. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Hoosier News Source. I'm Sierra Hignite.
And I'm Meredith Juliet. An executive order by President Donald Trump has people in Bloomington speaking out. The order, which came last Friday, freezes immigration and travel from 7 countries with majority Muslim populations for at least 90 days. Undocu Hoosier Alliance, a group that serves the needs of undocumented people here in Bloomington, held a rally this past Sunday. Dozens of people attended the rally at the Monroe County Courthouse. Rally organizers are calling for IU to be a sanctuary campus. The action comes from deep-seated concerns about the safety of refugee vetting programs. However, it affects anyone that maintains a citizenship status from any of the affected countries. It also includes people who hold green cards here in the United States. Well, IU President Michael McRobbie called Trump's travel ban contrary to the very core of our values in a press release on Sunday. The memo criticized the executive order and assured the public that the university will do everything in its power to accommodate affected students. McRobbie's message admits that a strong visa program was necessary for national security. The university will not reach outside the legal system, which includes making IU a sanctuary campus, for a solution.
That's right, and the outrage over the ban is apparent across the country. It even made its way to the SAG Awards. The Screen Actors Guild Awards were over the weekend, and celebrities did not hesitate to use their platforms to speak out against the ban. Simon Helberg from CBS's The Big Bang Theory walked the carpet with a sign reading, "Refugees Welcome," and his date wrote, "Let them in," across her chest. But they weren't the only ones who spoke out. Bryan Cranston took a more comedic approach while bringing light to the topic during his acceptance speech.
I'm often asked, how would Lyndon Johnson think about Donald Trump? And I honestly feel that 36 would put his arm around 45 and earnestly wish him success. And he would also whisper in his ear something he said often as a form of encouragement and a cautionary tale. Just don't piss in the soup that all of us got to eat. Thank you very much. Good night.
And later backstage, Cranston told the LA Times that as actors and citizens, they are allowed to politicize award shows. He said it makes it alive. But lucky for us, the SAGs weren't all about politics, and as a matter of fact, one of our alumni walked the red carpet. Meryl Streep has been a critically acclaimed actress for many years, but this year might be one of the best of her career. Streep, being no stranger to the Academy Awards, has already been nominated for a Golden Globe, a SAG Award, and now another Oscar just this year. An Oscar that broke her own record for the most Oscar nominations, putting her at 20 throughout her career. After the announcement, Streep took to Twitter to release a celebratory dancing gif.
Well, a widely used business that gives anyone the ability to rent out their home on a short-term basis is raising concerns. The business, Airbnb, can be a convenient way to earn money, but some local communities are complaining about its use in residential areas. IUS-TV reporter Laura Puglisi has the details.
Airbnb has expanded across the world and can be found operating in local communities like Bloomington. But not all people are happy with the growing business. In fact, many cities receiving community complaints are attempting to ban Airbnb. Behind me is one of the 2 homes that Susan Slavin has. One of them is for her personal use, and the other she uses for short-term rentals like Airbnb. Now, what Airbnb allows people like Susan to do is to simply take a few pictures of their home, post it to the website, and collect income from people who want to stay. The controversy. Hotels are angry because they pay innkeeper's tax. Commercial rental property owners are angry because they pay sales tax. Neighbors are angry because strangers are going in and out of their community. But Susan says she has rights as a homeowner, and these rights allow her to do as she pleases with her owned property.
What a personal homeowner has the rights to do is to utilize their home in whatever way they wish.
Thomas Gallagher believes cities should regulate Airbnb or short-term rental properties. He says that he uses Airbnb in a commercial zone, so he has to pay sales tax and innkeeper's tax on his property.
It's a business. pure and simple. You're renting something, you're receiving money, you're conducting a business.
Doris Sims, the director of Housing and Neighborhood Development Department, said that the city of Bloomington drafted a new section to the municipal code which would have regulated short-term rentals. A public forum was held on September 27th this past year on the proposed code amendment, and after public comments, the city decided to re-evaluate the proposed ordinance.
It's really sad to see that officials would rather see some people maybe even lose their home.
Other cities in Indiana, like Carmel, are proposing similar ordinances and bans, and states like New York are taking action as well. A proposed Indiana State House bill called Bill 1133 was passed by a Senate committee last Tuesday and will now move forward in the House. If the bill gets passed, cities in Indiana would be able to regulate Airbnb under certain requirements, but would be unable to ban the use of Airbnb as a whole. For Hoosier News Source, I'm Laura Puglisi.
We'll keep you updated on the further status as Bill 1133 moves forward in the House.
And coming up on Hoosier News Source, average temperatures around the globe are heating up. Find out ways you can help slow them down.
And the fight to end the negative stigma of Greek life.
These stories and more coming up. Stay with us.
And it's an honor to be here.
After suffering a season-ending injury in late March,
as you can see behind me.
Welcome back. Fraternities across campus are striving for better reputations at IU. Hoosier News Source's reporter Mackenzie Young is back in studio with the details. Mackenzie?
Thanks, guys. Last week, fraternities across campus gave us a brief look into how Greek life at IU is trying to eliminate the negative stigma given to the members of this community. This week, I revisited those fraternities to look more into what Greek life means and their impact across campus.
Fraternities across IU are preparing for a successful spring recruitment with the new round of pledges to begin the spring semester.
I look forward to always getting, motivated young men to be a part of our organization.
On Saturday, recruitment members were able to go out and learn about the different fraternities located on IU's campus. And then on Sunday, multiple house tours were going on in hopes that they'll be able to call one home. Due to recent allegations and incidents happening across campus, Greek life in particular has acquired a negative stigma in regards to the social atmosphere.
I think the reason Greek life gets a bad name is because then you can associate a name, you can associate an organization to it. But at the end of the day, we're all people. We're all just guys, we're trying to get through, men and women trying to get through college.
However, these aspects of Greek life do not define an entire community. Greek life on campus continues to promote a healthy and safe environment, not just by connecting with one another, but helping other organizations around the nation.
During the fall, it was our first time we've done this. It was called Beta Sig Sliders. We always donated to Habitat for Humanity.
Collaborations, such as combining philanthropies, are a major key in bringing members of this community together.
And it kind of helps people to get to know each other who have a similar, all Greek organizations have similar values they're based upon, so it kind of helps bring together people that have shared experiences.
It's the idea that when an entire community comes together, that these lifelong friendships and bonds between brothers can have the power to end this negative stigma once and for all.
I think when we're all one community, the image is a lot better, first of all, which is what Greek life is struggling with, and we can just do a lot. We can do much better things when we're all working together.
The Greek life community continues to find ways to shed light on the positive aspects of their organizations.
Well, an IU-Cornell joint study finds more Americans taking steps to prevent disease thanks to Obamacare. This research is the first of its kind. It estimates the impact of the Affordable Care Act expansions of Medicaid on preventative care and health behaviors. It comes as Congress is still considering the future of the ACA. The research determined that low-income, childless adults have benefited from the Medicaid expansions. They are 17% more likely to have health insurance and 7% more likely to have a personal doctor. Study participants were also more likely to undertake preventative care like getting a flu shot, an HIV test, and visiting a dentist.
The rising average temperatures of the Earth keeps rising. Questions about the energy efficiency and fossil fuels. IUS TV reporter Alex Eady brings us more about the issue along with ways to reduce your carbon footprint.
From the time you leave home to the time you get back, you're using energy every step of the way. But what most don't know is that this constant use of energy is leading to an even bigger problem, the rising average temperature of the globe. 2016 was declared the Earth's hottest year for the third year in a row, according to the 2016 State of Climate report. This shocking record is now starting to raise questions on what can be done to lower levels of carbon emission. Experts like Paul Staton, assistant professor of atmospheric sciences, are now offering their advice to students on what they can do to keep this Earth cool. Tip number 1, live in a modest home. Conserving your use of energy inside your home can save you money and save the Earth. To cut down on your energy use, make sure to power off and unplug your appliances when they're not in use. Tip number 2 is live close to work or school. This makes for an easier and quicker commute to and from your home and cuts down on your fossil fuel emission. Lastly, tip number 3 is find a fun alternative to driving. Professor Staton mentions biking to and from work as a healthy alternative he's used for years. The way you live your life every day creates a lasting impact on the environment. Spread the word, challenge yourself, and challenge a friend. These simple changes to your lifestyle can make a world of a difference. For Hoosier News Source, I'm Alex Eady.
For more information about the energy conservation and tips to reduce your carbon footprint, visit go.nasa.gov. IU Athletics kept busy over the weekend, and IUS TV sports reporter Juliana Sherry joins us in studio with the highlights. Juliana?
Indiana was in action 5 of 7 days this past week, and IUS TV Sports was fortunate enough to get out to 7 events over the course of that stretch. Starting things off with men's basketball, the Hoosiers traveled to the Welsh Ryan Arena in Evanston, Illinois, where they faced the red-hot Northwestern Wildcats. It was a one-sided affair in favor of the Hoosiers, but only for the first 5 minutes. After opening the game on a 10-1 run, Indiana gave up the lead, and Northwestern never looked back. The Wildcats capitalized on Indiana's 10 first-half turnovers, putting in 15 points off the Hoosier mistakes. Indiana shored things up in the second half, only committing 3 turnovers, but a poor shooting night from IU resulted in another road loss by a substantial margin. Unable to contain the Wildcat offense, Bryant McIntosh scored 21 points, while Vic Law pulled down 12 boards, resulting in a 68-55 Northwestern victory. Indiana will be back at home on Wednesday for a 6:30 tip against Penn State. The men's tennis team had their first home matches of the non-conference season with victories on Friday and Saturday to start the home schedule undefeated. The first game against Ball State started off with a doubles point win for IU after defeating all 3 doubles teams from the Cardinals for the 3rd straight match. However, BSU fought back, winning the #1 singles match 2-0. Indiana rattled off 4 straight victories in singles before dropping the final meeting of the day in the #6 singles spot. The Hoosiers took the victory 5-2. The Hoosiers also walked away with 2 wins on Saturday, shutting out both Eastern Illinois and U-Illinois Chicago. Their next game will be this Saturday against the Princeton Tigers at 3. This past weekend, head coach Terry Morin of the women's basketball team reached a huge milestone in her head coaching career. While the team dominated in their 5th Big Ten win, Morin picked up her 250th career win in a rout of the Wisconsin Badgers. In her 14th season as a head coach, Morin's team landed their first victory in Madison since 2009, a win that wouldn't have been possible without outscoring the Badgers 21-3 in the final quarter. The Hoosiers will be back home on the 5th after they travel to East Lansing on Thursday for a 6 p.m. tip against Michigan State. That's all for sports this week. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Juliana. That's all we have for you this week. For more campus and local news, visit our website at iustv.com.
And like us on social media. Like us on Facebook at IUSTV News and follow us on Twitter at Hoosier NW Source.
From all of us here at IUSTV, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.